But let's get our next question here, Jim. This was sent to the Cult of Cornette Facebook group by London Unwin.
What? What?
London Unwin, UNWIN. London Unwin. When
he's one of the premier quackwoos.
I'm sorry, London. When Jim talks about the great
I'm
tag
sorry,
teams,
Undon.
What
Have you seen London's Undons?
It was Unwin, not Undin.
Unwin?
Well, before this question's Undin.
Unwind his undies.
When Jim talks about the great tag teams of the Attitude Era, he seems to always focus on Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys, but rarely goes into details about the Dudleys beyond them powerbombing Jillian Hall in OVW. Where does Jim rank the Dudleys in the pantheon of great tag teams, and what does he think of their work overall?
No, okay. I have to give them some flowers now. No, the Dudleys, and maybe I've got not prejudice, but I see them as more of an ECW team. I've got them pigeonholed as EC. So when I'm talking about WWF teams, yes, Edge and Christian were put together primarily there, and the Hardys attained their fame there. But, the only thing I told Bubba one time when we were in TNA, I said, I'm not sure you should talk about being 23-time tag team champions. Why? I said, because it sounds fucking preposterous, right? That anybody could be, it's like Lawler won the Southern title 107 times or whatever.
But they never said it.
But they never, they said he's held the Southern title most of the last 10 years. Not that he had it 107 times. That means he lost it 106 or whatever. But no, they did work at a high level and on top in several different companies. And while I did have issue with it's sometimes Bubba's psychology in, doing the big move to anybody and everybody for the sake of, doing the big move, they were a good team and they got their shit over, and Devon get the tables and the whole 9 yards. And Bubba, especially when he was bigger, he could work. He was one of those guys, I don't want to give him an Adrian Adonis physique. He'll find me and beat me up. But I'm saying for a bigger guy, he was doing shit like Big Boss Man. He was not a fucking bodybuilder, nor was he, cosmetically pleasing in his day, but he could move around and do a lot of shit for a big guy. And then finally, he went on the diet and dropped all that weight to become a single in TNA here several years ago. So no, I guess I shouldn't overlook him, because for that era, what early to mid 2000s through the 2010 era, they were probably one of the top teams in the business. So we should give them more of their flowers. And just remember, Bubba, it wasn't my fault you were in the goddamn electrified cage match, because I shit on the fucking idea when I heard about it too. Remember that when they did that in TNA in St. Louis, tried again, like we already hadn't learned, going back to the Thunderdome in WCW in 1989 or whatever. And they tried to do that electrified cage, I think it was in St. Louis, with LAX and the Dudleys. And it didn't fucking work worth shit. And they just had to grab the wire and go bzzz and shake it and act like they were shocking themselves. And at the end of it, I can't remember what the context was, but Bubba had opened the cage door and there was a fucking floor camera shot of him saying, "What the fuck?" or something. And you couldn't say fuck even on pay-per-view 20 years ago or whatever this was. And Jeff Jarrett says, "Are you going to go talk to him about that?" And I knew they'd already had a shitty fucking match and they were going to be just lit up, right? I said, okay, I'll go yell at him about this. So I go, "Bubba, did you have to say fuck?" And he's like, "God damn it, that fucking shitty match, that abortion of a fucking match." I said, "Well, did you have to say fuck on top of it? That's the only rule we hadn't violated." And then, yeah, that was I got to be honest with you. I don't know whether that was a shit stain or a Conan, because LAX was in it and they had done the electrified cage in Mexico. I'm thinking that maybe it was a shit stain because he heard Conan talking.
Conan?
Conan, and didn't realize that it was TNA and they weren't going to be able to get the special effects right no matter what happened. But lo and behold, wouldn't you know who won the pony?